The Detroit Lions just keep doing things right. And Detroit Lions fans just got the best news of the offseason so far, in my opinion. And I'd love to know yours in the comments. I know this news speaks to the bigger picture of the franchise and just wow, what is going on? So here's the news. Kelvin Johnson will be inducted into the Pride of Lions during Monday Night Football. So, number retired up on the rafters, Kelvin Johnson, legend. Why is this the best news? And again, there's a lot of news in the offseason. We get new players, free agents, DJ Reader, Terrion Arnold. Life's good. We're drafting good. We got big time free agents. Our second year guys, third year guys are coming into their own, whether it's Aiden Hutchinson, Sam Laporta, right? All these great things. But this speaks to a macro level when you talk about Kelvin Johnson. This was announced at his foundation celebrity golf outing at the Detroit club is where they announced this. So he's having a golf outing. He's got Lions personnel, players there, and Kelvin Johnson is in good standing with the team. And they announced it right there. We're thrilled to add Kelvin Johnson Jr. to the Pride of the Lions. Why is this such a big deal? Well, it goes back to all the way to the top, and you look at Sheila Ford Hamp and what she's able to do. Now, here's some bullet points on her as a reminder of just like, oh yeah, it's unbelievable. So she takes over, and the first thing that she does is she fires Matt Patricia and Quinn midseason. Thank you. Get out of here. It's time to make this right. She then seeks out Chris Spielman. And Chris Spielman said, hey, I didn't hire Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. I was part of the group. She made that decision. Remember, to hire Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell separately. They didn't know each other. And it's like, oh man, this is what are we doing? Awesome. Obviously, she stood by the decision and made a franchise altering decision right in the beginning when they trade Stafford for Jared Goff. And it's like, okay, here we go. We're rebooting this whole thing. This is crazy. So what I love about her, remember, after the rocky start, she was the one that came out, stood in front of the media. She didn't hide, but she's also not too involved, right? She's not Jerry Jones, but she's also not hiding like her family members of the past where you never saw them, didn't know who owned the team. She was right out there in front. And then in this situation right here, she has restored relationships with Lions greats, specifically Kelvin Johnson. Now, when I say restored relationships, she's not only restored, but enhanced relationships with Chris Spielman, who loves this franchise. What a guy. The whole thing, football mind, he's back in the building. Barry Sanders, same thing where it was there. But also, it's like, hey, it's Barry Sanders, like legend of legends. Let's roll this guy out the red carpet. Let him go to every single event. Pay him whatever we need to. This is Barry Sanders. And they do it. It's like, thank you so much. So you got Barry Sanders and now Kelvin Johnson, another all-time wide receiver. That's the thing. It's not just, oh yeah, he was really good with the Lions. It's not Antonio Brown, right? It's not there's a lot of wide receivers running through my head. It is like Jerry Rice and Kelvin Johnson. Like that's what we're talking about here. To have this guy not be in good standing with the Lions. He feels like he was owed money. Lions don't feel like it. It was a bonus. Was it a bonus? I don't feel like this was. And they said, let's make it right. I mean, seriously, what is that worth to have Kelvin Johnson on the sidelines just carrying the flag for the Lions? Incredible. And so here's what she said once. She said, I don't plan to meddle, but I plan to be informed. And that is a truly great owner. And remember, Dan Campbell, after they beat the Packers 2 years ago to end the Packers and Aaron Rodgers and send them packing, they don't go to the playoffs. He said in the locker room, we've got the best owner. Everything you could possibly need, every resource. She thinks about you guys all the time. Man, she knows everything about you. She's rock solid as they come. And she's competitive. And boy, she loves to win. And it's like, let's go. That's what we're talking about. So the best news of the offseason is that Kelvin Johnson, this story shows what the Lions truly have in an owner and how it matters, but until you see that, how it can be just such a train wreck, and then you see how it really matters when you get the owner in the right spot, directing it down. And we looked at this. This was 6 months ago. We looked at different owner to GM relationships, GM to coach relationships. There's a lot of different power struggles within an organization. Everybody's competitive, the whole thing, fine. But you see it doesn't work. And half the teams, it doesn't work. Half the teams, the coach doesn't like the GM doesn't like the owner doesn't like it's crazy. And you see stories after stories about this. And so to have the alignment between owner, general manager, and coach down. So look how that actually keeps going all the way down to coordinators, and then from coordinators down to position level coaches. And now you see the continuity within the players. That matters. It really matters. And you look at guys like, from a player aspect, of Khalif Raymond, journeyman kind of player. Lions believe in him. He then believes in what the Lions are doing. He sticks around. He is a guy that they love. They reward him with a contract. Boom. That's role player guy. The second situation is you draft a Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Clearly great talent. They prove it, and they just straight up reward them, because it's like, yeah, we're rewarding you, but we're also keeping you around, and we're paying you and keeping you around. So if you're a player, you love it and you're all about it, versus you're not getting the information. They say they want you, they don't want you. You look around the league and it's happening all over the place. You also look at the existing veterans that were here, and Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker, treating those guys well. They win the division, and they are the ones that get recognized. They were here through the Matt Patricia Quinn era. That was just terrible. So this news just is a reminder of where the Lions have come. Sheila is really doing things the right way. She's empowering women in football. She is obviously a woman herself, and she's brought that down and trickled that down into different areas within the organization where women can be employed. Just stuff that makes sense. Thank you. That sounds like I don't know. There's a bunch of those examples, and she continues to take care of the team, and that is really awesome. And it's really what gets you fired up if you're a Lions fan. That's the problem with the Lions teams of the past. Yes, there was some winning in there. The Stafford years, there was a few seasons in there, but those were kind of flash in the pan. There was no identity. There was no what we've seen here, where it's like we saw this thing get stripped down. That 2021 season, Dan Campbell's going for the win constantly, trying to just win. Not just like, I hope we don't lose. It's like, let's just go for the win. We're probably going to lose, but like, let's go for the win. And he changed the culture, and we got to see that nucleus grow out, more players added, talented. And it wasn't just this Stafford, Reggie Bush, Kelvin Johnson, Brandon Pettigrew. We have talent, but we really don't, because we don't have this core. The core has been built out. They've gone through hard times together. So that's where the excitement is if you're a Detroit Lions fan. This isn't a flash in the pan. This is not it was a good season last year. See if they can do it again. It's like, no, this thing is rock solid. It's going to last because of the leadership of the franchise that we've never seen before. So it's really hard to watch it and be like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Sheila, thank you. And we will see all of you on the next one.